Head to the voicemail of Truth and Reason about the Cavs and heading into this All-Star break.
If memory serves me, is this the time where first and second year players in the NBA become physically and mentally tired? Could that be why the Cavs are losing? Thanks.
Let's welcome in Chris Fedor, Cavs beat reporter for the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. And Chris, it's a number of things. Certainly, there's probably a little bit of it. They're getting everybody's best shot now, too. You're not sneaking up on anybody anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, I think there are just like a lot of reasons. I think part of it is collective fatigue, mental and physical. It's been a lot of games in a short amount of time here for the Cavs recently. It's been 50-plus games in the first half of the season, even though we just reached the All-Star break here. And I think it's very, very difficult for a team like the Cavs. We've talked about this throughout the course of the season, Dave. For a team like the Cavs, they have to play extremely hard on a nightly basis. That's their best way of competing. They've got to outwork teams. They've got to out-hustle teams. They've got to play their butts off on the defensive end. It's really hard to play at that kind of level for 82 games in a regular season and then talk about what they would have to do in the postseason. So it's a lot of different things. And some of it you can chalk up to growing pains. Some of it you can chalk up to the fact that they're now the hunted as opposed to the hunter. Some of it you can chalk up to the fact that they haven't had a key piece of their starting lineup, Lauri Markkanen. But at the end of the day, the Cavs are one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference through the quote-unquote unofficial first half of the season. And that's a really good place for them to be.
Yeah, without question. And you know what? Even in the games where they struggle, they still fight. I mean, they fell behind big against Philadelphia. They found a way to come back. They were in it, in the fourth quarter. The other thing to keep in mind, and we touched on it a little bit, these guys are so young. Evan Mobley played 1 year of college basketball. Mm-hmm. There was no game number 50 for Evan last year. Darius Garland played 5 college games. This is really the first time, and he's banged up. So there are just so many things that go into an NBA season that these guys are experiencing for the first time. So give them some room to figure it out.
Yeah, a number of their key guys are figuring this out for the first time, and that's the thing. In the second half of the season, there are going to be a number of different firsts that come their way. And it's interesting because Rajon Rondo has talked about it. Kevin Love has talked about it. There's not a lot of playoff experience on this team. So a lot of these guys are going to be in an atmosphere like Philadelphia, which felt like a playoff environment. It was a raucous arena. Philly talked about how important that game was for them, using the Cavs as a measuring stick for them, not the other way around. So some of these guys, I remember a story from Kyrie Irving back when he first teamed up with LeBron James back in 2014, Dave. And I think it was November or something like that. They were playing against the Chicago Bulls, and Kyrie turns to Mike Miller and he says, "Hey, Mike, is this what a playoff game feels like?" So you can imagine that Darius Garland and Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro and Evan Mobley, they're all turning to Kevin Love and Rajon Rondo and Ed Davis and saying, "Hey guys, is this what it's going to feel like in late April when we get into the postseason?" Because you don't know what you don't know. And you can't gain experience without actually going through it, seeing it, and feeling it firsthand.
Yeah, and you know what? Give them time to grow. The one thing about this team, and anytime we've seen them with a challenge, they've responded like you would want them to. Yep. So let's see.